1v1 on Road to Kharkov. This game is Contra versus Ihitto. Contra playing as U.S. forces in the north, Ihitto playing as Oberkommando West in the south. Contra has rifle, airborne, and infantry company. Ihitto has breakthrough, spec ops, and fortifications. It's pretty standard stuff, I would say, from both players. I'm expecting LMGs from the U.S. forces because you really need them on this map. Not much of a flamethrower map at all. And I think the U.S. Forces player is going to have a very, very difficult challenge on his plate this game. He's going to have to try to win somehow. It's very difficult to harass the south cutoff on this map, whereas the north cutoff you can harass quite freely and easily. There's lots of green cover around. There's vision blockers, pathing blockers. The south cutoff, however, is in the middle of an open field practically. So it's quite easy to defend with MGs or whatever. And it looks like Ihitto is going pretty hard left. He uses Stern Pioneers to grab the resource points here before making their way towards the center. Setting up wire defenses here. I'm thinking possibly battle group headquarters in this area or mechanized regiment. They're both great on this map. So we could easily see either one, and he's going with 2 rifles into vet riflemen, and he got a lucky double vet rifleman right off the bat. Hopefully that will help him a little here in the beginning. And those riflemen are going to hop the wall, make their way towards the strategic point, and he's kind of skipping past strategic points here in the opening of the game, going for a more aggressive start here across the right side, but that's going to hurt his income ever so slightly. And it doesn't make all that much sense since he's spreading himself so thin. If you're going to skip past strategic points, don't spread yourself out, because the aggressiveness that affords you is lost if all of your squads are not together early in the game. Ooh, double vet rifleman positioned in cover for a Stern Pioneer charge. This could be a nice opening for Contra. He snipes a model before they can reload. Second model goes down mid-burst, and there they go. They're forced to retreat. Second squad on their retreat path. Double vet rifleman was slow to chase, but I don't think that matters. I'm pretty sure they retreated early enough that they were going to get home safely. And a battle group headquarters is going up, not here, but in a slightly more defensible location here behind this shed. This can be very difficult to deal with as U.S. forces, but we'll see how Contra responds to this. We've got rear echelon troops continuing their advance across the right side, riflemen doing the same. Still no capture of either of these points, so keeping up the aggression very much so. You would rather engage early and hard than take territory. Very aggressive opening, but despite that, he's not engaging. His window of opportunity to engage before his opponent could reinforce is now closed. So if he was going to move in, he should have done so when he had the chance. Now, there's really no way he can win this engagement. The vetted squad is getting focused down first, and it will be forced to retreat. This squad has no cover at all. There's just no cover anywhere. And they're going to be second to retreat. There they go. The only squad in cover has only yellow cover, is easily going to get forced away by superior numbers. Rear echelon troops moving up to support are not going to do much other than maybe capture this point. More vetted riflemen are moving up to support, but they can't do anything without the assistance of these 2 squads, so really this is just a lost engagement. He needs to pull back, recuperate. The only thing he's accomplishing here is veterancy for himself and his opponent, and giving veterancy to his opponent is not something he really wants to be doing. He might take the cutoff here, though. He did sufficiently push his opponent back to take the cutoff, and that is a semi-significant win for him. It's going to get retaken rather quickly, though, so didn't make that much of an impact. But I guess it's something.
God damn it! Someone get us out of here! What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits? We now have parachute flares to scout enemy positions. Well, we're losing a capture point.
Riflemen retreat. And the American is going to have to reinforce, heal up, group his forces together for a big push, or spread himself out and try and take some territory. He needs to grab some of these strategic points. His income's just really hurting. I'm thinking he may be going straight for easy 8s. He's going captain now for some light anti-tank protection. Not necessarily that important to go captain when you've already seen the battle group headquarters, which I guess I'm not sure if he did see that or not. I'm not sure if he got close enough to spot that. Grenade goes out, nice dodge. And there's the first Panzer Shrek, will be forced to retreat. As for the American player, no grenade research, no research of any kind. Possibly just going straight for flamethrowers. Again, rifle company on this map. Not sure if I agree with that decision. Flamethrowers will have difficulty closing the distance, and we've already seen that all engagements are happening at the longest of ranges. So he's going to have to try to close the gap, and if he overinvests in flamethrowers, the odds of him blowing up all over his own troops are going to be that much higher. Looks like rather than making a coordinated push with all of his forces, he's spreading out, trying to take territory and take advantage of the fact that his opponent has had to fall back, retreat, and reinforce. And he has triple capped his opponent, and the clock is ticking. As OKW, it's very important to secure at least one victory point.
Heavy truck, waiting for deployment.
Sturm Pioneers engage without support. Get brought very low. These two squads are also forced to retreat, engaging without support themselves, and those Volksgrenadiers proved to be a little bit too much. He retreated a little bit early with this rifle squad, but he has an ambulance on the field, so I think he just wants to avoid manpower bleed, playing a little bit into the late game, not thinking he could win an engagement against this truck, and he's correct. Instead, trying to just probe, poke, and harass, rather than making a decisive engagement that he won't be able to win. Because until he has some kind of vehicle or something a little heavier with which to assault that position, he just doesn't really stand a chance. And it looks like he's going for the war of attrition here, totally playing the manpower game, trying to preserve manpower on wounded squads, and now getting himself a pack howitzer, so he fully intends to try to bleed this position. Without being able to harass this cutoff, his ability to cut off his opponent's munitions and fuel is really limited.
Return fire! Return fire!
Positioning these squads in green cover is sufficient to make Ihitto think twice about setting his tier 4 up right here. And all 3 victory points are currently contested. Ihitto rapidly slowing the victory point drain. And riflemen are making their way across the left side to engage these Volksgrenadiers, and with their superior numbers and flamethrower, they should be able to force a retreat. And they're going to be forced to retreat in turn. But there's the pack howitzer. Ooh, nice opening shot, but he loses a full squad of riflemen there for no reason. I don't know why he didn't retreat that. Tier 4 structure going up. I don't think that Contra spotted that. If he did, he could have bombarded with the pack howitzer, and a lot of stuff is coming if he's able to force... Ooh, another squad wipe, though. I was about to say, if he can force those Volksgrenadiers to retreat and catch this thing setting up, he could turn the game, but he just lost 2 full squads of riflemen. The manpower bleed is atrocious here. And I don't think he's seen this. He went over here to capture instead of assaulting that position. That's such a waste, such a shame. Wait, he does know about this and he didn't even go over there to stop it? Oh my god. Contra, you're killing me. Well, now begins the long road to destroying that thing with a pack howitzer. It's going to take a while, and he's lost 2 full rifle squads, so his ability to protect that thing is already horribly hampered, and yet he's making a frontal assault on the battle group headquarters with only 2 squads of riflemen. What is he hoping to accomplish here? There's green cover right here that he's not even using. And he just lost his full captain squad to the Sturm Pioneers. Everything is falling apart. Dropping white phosphorus on the battle group headquarters to try to assist in this engagement. Tier 4 firing on the retreating squad does make it away. Riflemen actually get hit by their own phosphorus smoke, and it inflicts minimal damage. And he's losing map control. A squad of Volksgrenadiers making its way up the right side cannot be pushed away because of all the losses that Contra has sustained. Oh, jeez.
Under attack! Squad numbers back at full. Incoming fire! Field promotion!
Grenade goes off on that pack howitzer, and then the squad immediately retreats. Ooh, gets a nice shot on that squad, forcing a retreat there as well. These rear echelon troops are not going to succeed against those Volksgrenadiers and immediately retreat. As far as tech, nothing. 175 fuel in the bank, 2 command points to go before Easy 8s. Once they're arrived, I mean, what are they going to do? Regular Shermans are so much better than Easy 8s, but clearly he's holding out. To what end, I'm not sure. If he can take this thing out with the Easy 8s, that would definitely, wow, definitely help. That pack howitzer may be the only thing in his army that's performing well at this point. He really needs to keep that up and keep this thing protected, healed, reinforced, and so on. Doing a good job keeping the ambulance by it to make sure that it doesn't get wiped. He needs to keep the pressure up on this thing, though. The first squad of Obersoldaten is being produced, and it's just a matter of time before the Panther hits the field. If he can keep up the pressure, that will definitely help, but I don't know if he's going to be able to destroy it in time. It doesn't really look like it at this rate. But he is dealing damage to it, and at this range, look how short this range is. The scatter's quite low, so almost all the shots are quite likely to connect with the, oh, that's too bad. With the actual structure. It loses all of its veterancy to 1 grenade. He really needs to protect against this avenue of approach. He's gotten grenaded from that angle twice now.
Combat unit ready. Our resource sector has been cut off from our supply chain.
He needs to protect from both these angles of approach. The ambulance is vulnerable to Panzerschrecks from the south. The pack howitzer are vulnerable to grenades from the east. And he's got 2 rifle squads. And meanwhile, his 3rd squad has successfully taken back the fuel there on the right side, slowing his opponent's fuel income and increasing his. But Ihitto's Panther is going to be very quick. Very quick. Already going to have the fuel for it at like 16 minutes. Pretty scary blob of Volksgrenadiers coming. His machine gun upgrade is not going to complete in time. He doesn't have any way of keeping this back. Oh ho ho! Except for a miracle hit by a pack howitzer. Wow! That just inflicted massive casualties. Flamethrowers doing well in kind. That engagement went so much better than I think we could have possibly expected. Ouch. Oh. What is that AT gun doing though? Every time Contra has a big win, it's underscored by some weird mistake.
Contact! Return fire! Flanking attack! Prepare to fire! Folks, Grenadiers back to full strength.
Well, he's going to need to get that AT gun back under his control, try and get some territory back under his control. He has secured enough command points for his EZ-8, and it will arrive before the Panther, if only sort of narrowly. Ihitto had to spend a lot of manpower reinforcing after that engagement, which went horribly for him. So his Panther's a little delayed. He's had the fuel for it for 30 seconds now, but he's not going to have the manpower for it for another minute. EZ-8 needs to capitalize on this window of opportunity and take out this thing while he has the chance. There's definitely a chance that he could destroy this before a Panther completes. Packhauser gets another nice hit on those Volksgrenadiers. The flare provides vision for the AT gun, which is missing shots, but other than that, it's falling dangerously low, and it's looking like this thing's going to be destroyed before a Panther can be fielded, which means Ihitto is going to have to go straight for King Tiger.
Taking fire!
There it goes. Nice win for Contra. Hopefully he can use that as a springboard into the mid-game here. His opponent is actually going to field a Jagdpanzer, so not going straight to King Tiger. He's fielding Jagdpanzer instead. On this map, if it performs quite nicely, it should help him bridge the gap as the EZ-8s continue to flood the battlefield. Rear echelon troops grabbing the victory point here on the right side. EZ-8 making its way across to the south.
Keep it down. Listen to me. Back to your grenades. Make sure double check.
And the victory points are going to turn back in Contra's favor now, but he is clearly having a lot of trouble dealing with all these Volksgrenadiers. We're going to see 3 Shreks and a bazooka, just making things difficult for that EZ-8 to be aggressive. But it's inflicting very nice bleed on those Oversoldaten, and remember, this is the only squad of Obers he's going to make this game. If he loses that, he won't have any Oversoldaten at all, and he'll be very vulnerable to his opponent's infantry. He actually canceled his Jagdpanzer, by the way. It looks like he is, in fact, going to go straight for King Tiger. Mechanized Regiment headquarters has been constructed on the road. Oh, the full squad of Oversoldaten just got wiped, and they dropped an MG-34. He didn't even recover it. He made a full retreat without recovering that MG-34. This game is rapidly turning around. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. He now needs a King Tiger to win, honestly. Those flamethrower riflemen are going to walk all over him, no problem. Until some sort of hard counter to infantry arrives, which is, of course... probably the hardest counter to infantry there is. And yes, Antilles, the HE rounds on the Sherman are what make it better against infantry, which was what he was facing at the time. But of course, EZ-8s are a better long play, late game play, because they're better against King Tiger, which is clearly what he's going to be up against. He's going to have the fuel for a second EZ-8 soon. He already does, but he needs manpower. White phosphorus falling on the battle group headquarters, and look at that stray shell. That was perfectly placed to slow and damage those squads over there. He did not utilize rifle grenade smoke on the machine gun, and it is going to be able to reinforce. He really needs to protect grenades. If he had smoke grenades, he would be so much better equipped to push this position, or just use the EZ-8 smoke pods. Either way. He could provide a smoke screen for his riflemen. That would help a lot. I think he's, rather than going to continue to pushing, just going to maybe steal this machine gun. That would definitely be a nice pickup. His Pack Howitzer has 11 kills in his Vet 2. If he can move that into range to bombard this position, the pressure will really be on. And as long as he holds this cutoff, Ihitto's fuel income is drastically slowed, further delaying the King Tiger. But honestly, I think fuel is not really Ihitto's concern, it's just manpower. He needs to stop bleeding manpower. He needs to continue floating up to 720 to be able to field that King Tiger, and that is a lot when you're bleeding you're just hemorrhaging manpower everywhere, left and right. Look at all these wounded squads. And a second Easy 8 is here. Contra could totally seal the deal on this game if he just goes in and kills everything. His opponent will have no choice but to continue reinforcing or lets both squads be wiped. I mean, something suspicious is going on when nothing is reinforcing. His cutoff has been retaken and the fuel income is restored. He will be able to afford a little bit of reinforcement here. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to reinforce while he waits for the fuel to continue coming in. And it's a shame that we didn't see a really aggressive, decisive push by those Easy 8s just now. Imagine what he could have done. With 2 Easy 8s against only 3 Volksgrenadier squads, I think, combined with Crush, hoping for some lucky shots. Combined, of course, with a white phosphorus barrage from either off-map or his Pack Howitzer, with rifleman support, I think he was really poised to end the game. Maybe he still is. The King Tiger's not going to be here for a little while. It still has to actually produce, but he's running out of time. His window of opportunity is closing. He really needs to make something happen here. Not a great start. Pack Howitzer firing. Nice opening shot. Takes out one model, inflicts respectable damage. And he's just being so passive. He's being so careful. He can't let his opponent stall him like this. King Tiger's now halfway done. That being said, he's just playing the victory point game. He's got all 3 points, rapidly running out, only 142 remaining, and the King Tiger, I don't know, maybe this is the right decision. If he continues to mass Easy 8s, he'll have a third one in a reasonable amount of time. This game's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. If he could stall or delay by taking one of the victory points, that would go a long way. He's sending a Stern Pioneer squad up the right side to try and do just that. There's a fighting position here protecting this avenue of approach, but nothing protecting the actual victory point. Some harassment of the strategic point there as well. Stern Pioneer should be able to take that unopposed. There's only an AT gun and a rear echelon troop over here, so that should be fine. Flare goes off to try and continue bleeding his opponent with the Pack Howitzer. Smart move. Only a good play. He's got the munitions for it as well. The King Tiger is here. I'm not sure if he hears it or not. He probably does. It has a pretty unmistakable noise in the fog of war. Once that thing arrives, you know about it. High explosive barrage forces a retreat from those 2 squads. King Tiger's moving in. This could be the decisive engagement, but now there's a King Tiger present. Massive damage on that Easy 8. Rakettenwerfer seals the deal. King Tiger cleans it up. Ambulance goes down. King Tiger moves up to seal the deal on his second Easy 8, which is not moving. It needs to get out of there. White phosphorus will prevent it from firing a second time. Oh no, just got abandoned. Abandoned with no support. And I think that is the game. If he had held this, maybe not, but he didn't, so... Now that he's handed an Easy 8 to his opponent and has not even done any damage to this King Tiger, I don't know if he's going to be able to come back from this situation. Doesn't even manage to wipe that on the retreat. Does damage the King Tiger's engine, and he is taking control of that victory point. He's going to try to delay the capture of the left side victory point with his flamethrower. His armor-piercing rounds actually doing pretty okay damage to that King Tiger, bringing it down to a little below half. And another Easy 8 is on its way. I don't know. This is kind of turning around again. Easy 8 catches the King Tiger with its rear armor exposed. A T-gun kills that stolen Easy 8. This King Tiger looks like it might go down here. Why isn't he flanking it though? Use smoke, try and get behind it, do something. Take advantage of the slow turret rotation. No, it gets abandoned too. What is I think. What? What? Okay. Apparently, their last gasp before dying was to take out the King Tiger and win the game. Wow, that was something. Honestly, I think Contra was poised to win much earlier, and it kind of came down to a really close engagement there at the end, which just went all wrong for Ihitto. But good game for sure. Well played by both sides. Some questionable decisions I thought by Contra, but he was clearly playing the victory point game, and I guess that paid off. It was definitely going to tick down. He had it in the bag from this point forward, so not really my style, but he made it work. Good game. Allies win.